Welcome to a West Side Lions podcast. We are here. I am your host, Ben Miller, at Lions West Side on Twitter. If you've not followed us yet, do it. I'm not asking much more, except for I'm going to ask every single time. So please go do that. With me, as just about always, sometimes one person's here, sometimes it's not. We got one of our co-hosts today. Austin Rudlin is here with us today. Jake is not able to be here today. And Austin and I are going to be breaking down the 2022 NFL draft for the Lions. Austin, how are you feeling about the Lions draft?
Oh man, Ben, that was something else. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
I'm feeling pretty pumped right now.
it was a good draft. I don't know if this is just myself because I got so like exhausted with the draft, but I didn't get like the same. I had one pick that was like as high of a feeling that I had for draft picks. Like I feel last year I had more like explosively high feelings for the draft. Um, I liked the stuff that they did. I was surprised by a couple of things, but I didn't really like. It wasn't a draft for me that like made me jump out of my seat, except for the first pick. But other than that, yeah. Okay, let's just get right into it. Okay, let's just get right into it. So
Okay.
we're gonna start from the top. The one that was most exciting, uh, definitely for me. I'm assuming for yourself too. Aiden Hutchinson is now
Yeah.
a Detroit Lion. We were able to get him at pick 2. Somehow Jacksonville Jaguars messed it up. They did not pick Aiden Hutchinson. So let's talk about Aiden Hutchinson as a prospect real quick. Obviously, we know him very well because we were Michigan fans. We've watched him all year. Um, so just go over a little bit of Aiden Hutchinson for those who kind of don't know as much about him or why we are so excited that we got him at pick 2.
Yeah, I mean, Hutchinson's great. You know, motor guy never stops. Um, just gonna keep going. He's gonna give it his all. Like he said in a lot of his interviews, he's gonna come in, put his head down, and he's just gonna go to work. He's not gonna really talk about it or try and be flashy or anything like that. He's just gonna, get right to it, go to work. So, um, and I mean, obviously, if you're a Michigan fan, you are well aware of what Hutchinson was able to do on the field, and I expect that to translate pretty well onto the NFL game as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people know kind of the floor of where Aiden Hutchinson is. All of these draft analysts and everybody said, Aiden Hutchinson has the highest floor of any of the edge rushers in this class. Um, but they also said that Aiden Hutchinson probably has the lowest ceiling, and I don't know if I believe that. Um, Aiden Hutchinson is often compared to the Bosa brothers when they came out from college, and then everyone says, "Oh, they're not. He's good, but he's not the Bosa brothers." You're right. He's not the Bosa brothers. He's Aiden Hutchinson, and he is the same height, length, everything as them, but more athletic. Like that's I people are kind of down on in like everyone almost everybody agrees he is the number one prospect in this draft. Um, however, he lacks elite pass rush upside, and I don't believe that. I really think that this guy can really do some amazing things. He's like I said, a freak athlete. He is outstanding in the run support. He's great at attacking the run. Great at rushing the passer. He's going to be kind of like he can play anywhere between your 3 tech and your 7 tech on your defensive line. So tons of versatility with him. And someone who's just going to get after that quarterback. Somebody we have not had since probably, oh goodness. I don't even know the last time. Was it, can't even think of who our last pass rusher was. I guess Was it
We had Ansa, but he just had so many
yeah.
injuries.
Yeah, I guess I would say Ansa then. Yeah, cuz he was kind of on that elite tier of pass rusher, but yeah, like you said, always injured. So, um Aiden Hutchinson is going to bring a new kind of defensive scheme too that comes with it, and I'm excited for that. Um, but we've got our face of the franchise now. Like this is a Detroit Lions, Michigan guy pick because this is like they made this pick because he is the face of this franchise now, easily. Like you said, got a high motor, always going. He's not going to give up on a play, and yeah, I just can't talk enough about how good Aiden Hutchinson is, and he was widely regarded as the number one prospect in this draft for a very long time, and out of nowhere, the Jacksonville Jaguars started thinking that they would go with somebody else. So, um, it's definitely interesting, to say the least. I had possibly thought maybe from what I had heard that Brad Holmes might even have preferred Kayvon Thibodeau over Aiden Hutchinson, but that didn't happen. He picked Hutchinson. I'm happy about that, but I mean, just a solid player. And then our next pick was pick 32, and we were all shocked when Brad Holmes put in a trade for pick 12. And I originally saw what the Lions had to give up for that pick. We had to get, and this is to go up. What was it? 12 spots, 20 spots, 20 spots.
20
He had to go up.
spots.
Had to go from 32 to 12, and he gave up the 32, the 34, and then a third rounder pick. When I saw that, I was like, okay, well that makes sense. That to get up 20 spots in the first round, that sure. And then I saw Brad Holmes and his little magic working self got us a second round pick back with that. And I was completely shocked. I was shocked and stunned and incredibly happy about that. So we had great value from that trade. I'm pretty sure we won, and it was with a NFC rival, like the NFC North
Yeah,
rival. It was with the Vikings.
I couldn't get that. And, I don't know why the Vikings, would trade with their, in conference rival.
Right. Yeah,
And
I
then
didn't
they did it
understand.
again with Green Bay too. So I don't get it.
I mean, whatever, keep doing it. I guess I don't care. Um, so then at this point, we had already gotten the edge rusher, the top edge rusher we wanted, and at this point, a couple of things were running through my head. It was, oh my god, we're about to get Malik Willis, or it was going to be Kyle Hamilton at pick 12.
I
We
was leaning
actually
towards
went,
Kyle Hamilton.
yeah, we actually shocked me greatly, and we picked up Jamison Williams. Um, I'll let you start about Jamison Williams at pick 12. What do you think of that?
Um, I was very surprised by that pick. I mean, like I said, I was leaning towards Kyle Hamilton at that. Um, yeah, I mean, torn ACL, so I think, that's definitely why he dropped. But I mean, like all the analysts have said though, without that ACL injury, he would have been, the number one wide receiver in this class.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, great wide receiver. The doctor that did his surgery said that it went very well. So he'll be back, 100%. Question is just when that 100% will come. So
Mhm. Yeah, I have. I first off, I was like you, where this pick, now that I've had like time to process it, I'm excited about it. However, at that moment, I was more shocked. I was just like in awe and shock more than anything. I was like, wait, did we really just draft? Did we just trade up and grab a wide receiver? I didn't see that coming. But even with his ACL injury, I have him on my wide receiver list as number 2 wide receiver. That's with his injury. Um, without his injury, he's easily number 1 wide receiver, and probably he's a top 5 pick if he didn't have his ACL injury.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear that they got their number 1 guy, got up and got him. So they got their number 1 edge rusher. Arguably they got the best player on offense and defense in this draft. And that's, I mean, tremendous value. The Jameson Williams is a very interesting wide receiver for our team because Jameson Williams is a lot like Devontae Smith, except for he's bigger, stronger, and he runs faster. But he's the same kind of guy where you can, he'll kind of sneak into good coverage. I mean, sneak out of good coverage, and then he's going to kill you with the yards after catch. So he averages 19.9 yards per catch. That's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
I think that they had said when they did the on-field tracking for him, I think he clocked 21 miles per hour that he was running at one point. I mean, the guy's a burner. They talk about him kind of like the same way they do with Tyreek Hill speed. I think that's a pretty fair comparison. And to have his height and weight and everything. I mean, it's a rare grouping there. So I love Jameson Williams as a player. The ACL is the only thing that's really got me like a little bit on edge with it. But I mean, Jameson Williams said he's going to be ready by training camp, and obviously that, they're not going to rush him in because he's the first year player. They're not, they want him around, so obviously they're not going to rush him. But he seems like a guy who, if he can play, you're not going to keep him off the field type of a guy. And then the doctors that Jameson Williams has been working with said that he should be ready to go by the first week for the first game. So I'm hoping that, I mean, just imagine what this kind of guy, I mean, he's going to demand corner and safety help. So safeties won't be able to play down in the box, which is going to severely help our tight ends and like Amon-Ra, those crossing routes, because they're not going to be able to play down on those guys. They're going to have to pay attention to Jameson Williams. Otherwise, they're going to get burnt and easily let up a touchdown. So I think this is going to open up our offense a lot. And that it has me pretty excited, to be honest. So I love the pick. Like I said, to come out of the first round with the top defensive player and the top offensive player and only move back, what was it, like 12 spaces in the second round and then give up your third, I don't care at all. Like that's a steal. That is a steal right there.
Yeah.
So I liked it. Move on to our second round pick. This is another one, again, shocked me a little bit until I kind of did my second dive into him again and kind of figured out how they might use him. So our second round player that we picked up at 46 is Josh Paschal, and he's listed as an edge rusher out of Kentucky. I had him as like my 15th edge rusher. But then I did a little bit more dive into him and I thought about it a little bit more. And he kind of fit, if you remember, Austin, on that podcast we did right before the draft, I said in the second round, don't be surprised if they get a defensive tackle or go, along the defensive line there.
Yeah.
I think Josh Paschal is a guy, from what I've heard and what I've read and tape I've watched, if he puts on some weight, he could turn out to be not quite as good as an Aaron Donald, but that kind of player where he's on the inside and can also line up on the outside and just create chaos on the interior. And that's what we really have been missing, is that pass rush from the interior. So I think that's what they plan on doing with Paschal, but I don't know. Otherwise, I think he's going to do another. I mean, they're just bolstering up the edge rushers in that line that, they want to make sure that we are getting after that quarterback. What was your thoughts with when they took Pascal?
Yeah, I like the pick. It reminds me of, last year's draft when we took Ali McNeil and Levi back to back. I mean, obviously this wasn't back to back, but again, doubling up on the DN position. And like you said, Pascal, he's got the versatility. He can rush from the outside, and then you can also stick him on the inside, and he can rush from there as well. Really good run defender. And he was a top 5, I believe, ranked DN by PFF in college. So
Yep. Aiden Hutchinson was
yeah,
number 1, and then Josh Pascal was number 2.
I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah. I think also a part that plays into why Dan Campbell loves this guy, he was a 3-year captain, 3-time
Yeah,
captain in college. That doesn't happen. Like, you don't get 3-year captains. That is this is Dan Campbell's guy. From what I heard from some reporters, Dan Campbell went into the draft day saying, if we don't come out with Josh Pascal, I'm going to be and he said, I'm going to be really pissed. So clearly this is a Dan Campbell guy. And again, they're getting the guys that they love, and I'm on board for it. They've seemed to pan out so far. I like it. So I have no issues with it. All right. Moving into round 3, we finally get a safety. We get our safety, Kirby Joseph, at pick 97. Kirby Joseph is from Illinois. I kind of projected him around this range. I had him somewhere between 3rd and 4th. He was my 8th safety on the board. He was the top safety on my board that was available when they picked. I like him. I like him a lot. He has the same kind of talent in the back end or deep safety range that Kyle Hamilton does, but he really, really, really lacks in the run support and coming downfield and helping in the box. So if they can keep him kind of in the backfield, I really, really like Kirby Joseph, and he's kind of a ball hawk, and I think he could do really well alongside Tracy. He's a great compliment because Tracy's good coming down into the box. So I think if they play those right, I think that Kirby Joseph could do really, really well for our team. I don't think he's going to start right away just because we have, I can't think of his name
Will
right now.
Harris.
Well, Will Harris is playing our safety role, but I'm talking about the other guy we picked up from Ravens.
Deshaun Elliott.
Yes, thank you, Deshaun Elliott. I think he'll probably start alongside Tracy, but it'll give a chance for Kirby to grow into the role, learn what he needs, and then once Deshaun's gone, Kirby can probably step in. So I like him. What was your thoughts for our 3rd round pick?
Yeah, I kind of figured, within our first 4 picks, we were going to take a safety. So honestly, I hadn't read a whole lot about Kirby Joseph, but like all the other guys, they're a Dan Campbell kind of guy. The whole theme with this entire draft was guys that are all very athletic. You can coach, plays and different techniques, but you can't coach that athletic ability. So yeah, I mean, good pick.
Yep.
Obviously not
I
going to be a
thought
starter, but
I thought it was funny that I think it was Houston traded directly in front of the Lions at that pick and picked up Nick Cross, the other safety. I liked him too. I think I had Nick Cross just a little bit higher than Kirby Joseph, but then they traded just in front of the Lions to get him, and I was like, crap, I wonder if we were actually going to get Nick Cross, but that's the way it goes in the draft. All right. And so we didn't have any 4th round picks. So our next pick that we had was in round 5 at 177. we picked up a guy I'm actually really excited about. I had him on my list decently high. I didn't do a ton of work on the tight ends just because I didn't think it was going to be a huge thing for us. I picked up the first few, but then I rewatched some of his tape recently, and I love the guy. So we picked up James Mitchell, tight end. He is out of Virginia Tech. I had him actually going 4th round in my mock or in my big board. The thing is with James Mitchell, he's also coming off an ACL injury. If he didn't play at all last year, so there's that with him. If he played and like he did the year before, he would probably be up there with kind of some of the ones that went like 2nd round, 3rd round in this draft with these tight ends. He's a very, very good tight end. I think he can step into a tight end 2 role almost immediately once he's healthy. He's like, if you watch his film, the guy's always catching touchdowns, catching touchdowns. He's running it in for touchdowns. They use him all over the field, and he is really, really good. He's very good at like being a deeper threat and, getting vertical. However, he's also like sneaky good at blocking. So I really like him behind Hockenson. I think Hockenson and James Mitchell will be a good tight end 1 and 2. And then if Hockenson goes down or something, I think James Mitchell could step in and fill a tight end 1 role while he's out. So I like the pick. What did you think of James Mitchell?
Yeah. It's funny with a tight end drafting a tight end. So Campbell must have really liked the guy in order to take him. So I'm all for it. Yeah, obviously the ACL injury can be a little bit of a concern, but it's been almost a year, if not more, since he's had it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yep, I agree. All right, so we'll go into round 6. So now we are in to the final 2 rounds. Round 6, 188. We had 2 picks in round 6. So pick 188. Another guy I'm very excited about was another guy we got great value on. Linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez. So this is a guy, for those who don't know, I have him 13 on my board. He plays the reason that first off, I'll start with this. This is the reason that he dropped so far to round 6 is because he is a little bit smaller of a linebacker. He looks a lot like a Nakobe Dean, with his weight and his height and how he plays even is a lot like Nakobe Dean, which is a big reason why he fell. And he's not from a big school, so he doesn't get, as much of the attention. But Malcolm Rodriguez, I had going in the 2nd or 3rd round, and we got him in the 6th round. So I really, really, really enjoy getting good value picks. And I think Malcolm Rodriguez, I don't know if he's going to start right away, but he's going to compete right away for starting. So I love that. He's very instinctual. He, finds the hole to do run support. He's very quick. He'll go sideline to sideline to do what they need to do there. I really like him. I rewatched his tape again, and it's all just jumping off the screen for us, and I really enjoy it. I think Malcolm Rodriguez could be our Amon-Ra St. Brown of this year. I think he could be the guy that really surprises us the most. What do you think of the pick there?
Yeah, great pick. Obviously he's not going to come in and start right away, but he'll definitely be a rotational piece for us. So, yeah, great pick. Undersized, but great motor. A high motor guy. He's not going to stop. Yeah.
Yeah, not much more to say about the guy. On to our 2nd, 6th round pick at 217. This one again surprised me a little bit. We got another edge rusher, James Houston. So James Houston, let me find where I had him on my board. I didn't have him high. I had him at 36 for edge rushers. So he's from Jackson State. The thing is with James Houston, he played at Jackson State, like I said, which the competition is not great, but he got 16 sacks last year. 16 sacks. So I think he's going to be another guy. If he makes, I don't even know if he makes the team. I really don't, because our edge rusher class at this point on the team is super filled. So it'll be a serious battle to get onto our team for the edge position. But I think he would kind of fill the same role that like a Charles Harris would, or Julian Okwara, where he kind of can come in on certain downs, certain packages, and just get after the quarterback. I'm interested to see how that goes. I like the possibility of his upside, but I don't know. At this point. I didn't really have too much strong feelings on this, on any of the players after this point, really.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really, once we got, down to here, I didn't really know, honestly, who they were. I looked into Houston a little bit. He was at Florida before he transferred to Jackson State. Um, I think he'll make our roster. I see him.
Who do you
I see him
think?
more as a
Yeah,
special teamer.
but who do you think he? I mean, I don't know about that. Who do you think he beats out on the edge position? Because I mean, think of all
I
the
don't
players we've
know.
got now. We've got Julian Okwara, Charles Harris. We've got Romeo Okwara. We've got Aiden Hutchinson. We've got, I mean, Josh Pascal. We've got, and I'm forgetting his name right now. The Oregon player not Oregon, Clemson player, Austin Bryant. I mean, our edge position is deep. It's super deep. And I don't think we're going to carry a ton of them. So
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know who he'd beat out. But yeah, like you said, we'll see. Um, it'll be exciting. I am excited because I know that there's going to have, I think they call it the NASCAR package. I'm sure that they're going to run that a lot where it's like they just fill the line with the pass rushers and just send it after the quarterback on like obvious rushing or obvious passing downs. So like you'll get out there like an Aiden Hutchinson, Romeo. You're gonna get a Pascal and Julian Okwara, something like that, and just send them all because I think it's gonna be exciting. I know that they're gonna be switching up their defense a little bit to a 4-3 attacking defense now, so I really like that, especially with the line that we've got. But yeah, I just don't know if the last two people are going to make the team, to be honest. But we'll see. So that was our second to last James Houston. Our last pick for this draft was round 7, 237, cornerback Chase Lucas. Again, did excuse me, a little bit of a dive into him after the draft. Didn't do too much work on him before the draft. It looks like maybe he can kind of. He's not great at outside corner, so I don't think he'll be playing there. He won't make the team on outside corner. I could almost guarantee that. He could possibly fight for a position at slot corner, but that's about as far as I see him going, especially with how deep our corner room is as well. So I don't know. Again, at this point, you're just kind of picking stuff and hoping that it works out. Did you have any specific thoughts about this pick?
No, I had never even heard of the guy before we picked him.
Yep. So I mean, at that round 7, even the undrafted free agents, like last year, maybe a couple of them work out, but most likely they're not even going to make the team. So we're not really going to focus on those guys too much.
Well, we've already given him guaranteed money though.
Who?
Like 4 undrafted free agents. We've given them like I think we spent like 500,000 on 4 of them.
Yeah, well, that's like nothing. And
I
then
mean, still though.
then we did that last year too, and none of them stayed. So
See,
well, hopefully some guys will work out. You know, we'd love to get some undrafted free agents to pan out again and late round guys, but we don't expect it. We just don't expect it. That's why they're late round guys and undrafted free agent guys. So, but that is our total draft at that point. Do you want to go and just do like an overall grade for this one?
yeah.
It's obviously
Um,
too early to do like an official like see because you have to wait like 2 or 3 years down the road to see how a draft really pans out. But just initially from the draft, how do you think the Lions handled?
oh, I'd go with a very solid B plus.
Okay, yeah, I'd say either A minus or B plus as well, just because I can't like stress enough the getting the best player on offense and defense in the draft. I mean, that can seriously increase how good your team is very quickly. So I think that the Lions were one of the teams that improved the most during the draft, and that's what our goal was, right? It's to continue to build through our draft. So if we keep doing that, we're going to be, doing real well pretty quickly here. So, all right, well, you got anything else you wanted to talk about with the Lions?
Um, so what was your first reaction when you heard Trayvon Walker went first?
Oh, I was jumping up and down. I was so well. I was excited they picked Trayvon, but I wasn't 100% sure yet that Hutchinson was going to be our pick. And that's what worried me the most because I was like, man, I really hope we get Hutchinson. But from what I heard, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked Kayvon over him. So I was kind of still on edge and waiting, but then they called out Hutchinson and they picked him apparently they called Hutchinson before they had even announced Trayvon Walker was the number one pick. So I love that. I love the conviction. I don't even care if the league gets mad at him. Just whatever. Our job is to pick the guys we love. If we love a guy, we're gonna go get him. So I don't care what
Yeah.
timeline you have for it. So yeah, I was excited about it, but we'll see. Hope he's got. I mean, it's still it's not an easy task to go from college to NFL. So we shall see how it goes. I'm excited. The
Mm-hmm.
rookie minicamp starts up, I think, next weekend. So we're gonna start getting a little bit more, video and stuff and seeing how they're doing. And I think that the Detroit Lions will be putting out a inside the inside the den episode behind this year's draft like they did last year. I loved last year, so I'm definitely going to be taking a
Yeah.
look at this. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah, I guess that's it from all of us here. So from Austin and myself, you know, go on, have a great day, and until we talk to you next, go Lions.